I'm Jeffrey Morse, and I'm here with my very special guest, Kevin Pense. And we're here today to talk about the Avengers. For those of you who have not seen the Avengers yet, first of all, why are you watching this video when you could be watching the Avengers? Go see it right now.
In preparation for this review, Jeff and I have both seen the movie several times. I've seen it 3 times, he's seen it 4 times. That is a total of 7 times in preparation. We feel that this makes us very credible sources for this review.
The basic plot of the Avengers is Earth is being invaded by a galactic threat, and Earth must call upon its heroes to come together and form a team known as the Avengers to help basically save the world.
Or avenge the world, if you will.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Funny fun, Kevin. Funny fun.
Funny fun.
At the time of this filming, the Avengers has already made over $500 million in the domestic box office. Got that fact from my buddy Craig Johnson. Thank you, Craig.
And also, this movie tops the charts, is the #1 movie for box office sales opening weekend of all time.
I had the privilege to go to the midnight premiere roll of footage, and as you can see, the line here is quite long. It went through the theater, outside the side of the theater, down the side of the building, and into the alley. There's been about 5 movies leading up to this: Iron Man 1, 2, Captain America, The Incredible Hulk, and Thor. I mean, comic fans have been waiting for this movie for over 60 years, so I guess you could say this movie has been a long one in the making. So now Kevin and I will kind of move into the positives of the film, which, let's be honest here, there's a lot, so we'll just hit our favorites. First of all, it was a very well-written movie. Very well. It was directed by Joss Whedon, who actually wrote the film as well, and so having that dynamic of being the writer and the director really helped the film break through.
There wasn't very much transition from paper to directing.
The writer's vision and the director's vision both melded into one, and in result made a very fantastic film. It was very funny, it was always witty, and it was just a very balanced film. But you never really feel like the 6 or 7, if you count Bruce Banner and Hulk as 2 separate characters. You never really feel like one is kind of in the shadows, doesn't get enough screen time. I'm pretty sure all the main heroes get at least one one-on-one scene with Loki during the movie, which is actually really cool to see how they all differently interact with the main villain.
There's a lot of variety in the genre of this film. There's action, there's drama, there's a ton of humor. Grandpa, who's 60, who read the comics, could enjoy the movie just as much as little Johnny, who's like 6 years old.
Actually, one of the shows I went to, there was a little kid dressed in a little Captain America outfit. You know, he wasn't more than 8 years old, but you know, I gave that kid a high five on the way out. I said, "Good job up there, Cap. You saved us. Good job." And you know, he walked out feeling like a champ. And, you know, let's be honest, that's what it's all about. That's what it's about. Another reason why Avengers just works is it's cast well. Marvel did a great job setting up all the different characters in their prior movies. Instead of getting actors who are known for their star power, they just got actors that fit the roles, and it seemed to work out for them pretty well.
In terms of the casting, one of the things that we actually liked was that even though they didn't have Edward Norton come back as Hulk, the guy that they did cast actually, in our opinion, did a better job. He wasn't just this scientist that no one could relate with. Also, one thing about the whole character that we liked in this movie is that it's the first time you hear Bruce Banner use the phrase, the Hulk.
And for those of you who've already seen the Avengers, I assume most of you stuck around to after the credits to see the post-credit scenes. And yes, that's right, I said scenes. There's not 1, but count them 2 post-credit scenes. Well, I'll just flat out say it. Thanos is going to be the villain in Avengers 2.
Thanos is known for his passion for death. So when the leader of the Chitauri says to take on the humans is to court death, he gives out that little grin because he's like, "Ooh, I love death."
It'll also be interesting to see how he interacts with Thor, possibly in Thor 2, because the Infinity Gauntlet, which Thanos has been known to use in almost all the comics, was established already in Odin's treasure chamber in the original Thor movie. So perhaps in Thor 2, maybe Thanos will go and try to take that back, and they'll have to fight him using that in the Avengers. Thanos should give them a good run for their money, Kevin.
Yeah.
After that scene, there's a more traditional credit roll with an additional post-credit scene, and I found it to be quite humorous.
Yeah. The reason we liked this scene, for those of you guys who have seen it, is because it wasn't what we expected. After the credits in most Marvel films, it's some sort of a clip that hints towards something in the next movie, and we were expecting that. Instead, what it was nothing. It was simply the team sitting in a shawarma joint, which we don't even know what shawarma is, eating shawarma. That's it. They didn't even talk. There was no audio at all except for the sound of them eating. We liked it because it wasn't what we expected. It took us off guard and it made us laugh.
Another reason why Avengers just works is the attention to detail. There's just so many little details throughout the movie that just, make it such a solid film. It stays within the continuity of all the other films. For example, I love how Captain America is constantly trying to fit in and kind of get a hold of what it's like in the future, with references to Stephen Hawking and the flying monkeys. In the movie, it also hints towards the Black Widow Hawkeye romance, which, in the comics is pretty much a thing. But, it doesn't really, shove it in your face in the movie, which I think is, a good thing.
It was tactful.
Another thing that I found to be an incredible attention to detail was how at the end of the film, when the nuke is headed towards Stark Tower, it shows on Iron Man's HUD a countdown from, starting at 50, going down 49, 48, and that's when it's going to impact. And I counted out in my head in the theater, and the moment I hit 0 in my head is the exact moment when Tony Stark lifted the missile up, like right when it would have collided with Stark Towers.
Very, very detailed. Very well made.
Kevin and I both had a few questions about the film, though. For me, it was, where the heck is War Machine? I liked how they set up Natalie Portman's character from Thor and said, oh, Jane Foster, she's up in the mountains here, we got her a safe location, that's where she is. It makes sense Thor would be concerned, and, I'm sure the audience would be wondering where she was if they didn't do that. So, that was cool. Just a little 10-second clip showing where she was, what happened. I would like the same kind of treatment for War Machine. I want to know, why he wasn't there, what was he doing?
There's a part in the film where Thor is trying to calm down Bruce Banner, who is hulked out. He's going crazy, and he's tearing the flying fortress, as Loki calls it, literally from the inside out.
And when that happens, he doesn't have control. But when, at the end, he says, "That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry," and turns into the Hulk, smashes the thing, and then, he smiles. He says a few lines. He's definitely more human.
He saves Tony Stark from falling to the ground.
Exactly. He punches Thor in the face because he remembers that uppercut with the hammer that he gave him.
He seems to have more of a humanity to him, even though he is in Hulk form.
So when he doesn't choose to unleash it, it's just chaos. When he does choose to unleash it, it's controlled chaos or guided chaos. Now for my favorite edition of the video is our favorite quotes. "Clench up, Legolas.
Puny god.
Dost mother know thou weareth her drapes?" There's only one God, man, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't look like that.
Genius, playboy, billionaire, philanthropist.
This man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Anyways, that's our thoughts on the Avengers.
It was a great film. Looking forward to Iron Man 3. Looking forward to, where's some of the other ones?
Thor 2, Captain
2.
America 2, and then possibly 2 other ones, maybe Black Panther and Ant-Man, we'll see.
Marvel released a statement after opening weekend that they are already beginning production on Avengers 2. So we're excited about that.
This is Jeffrey Morse of the Mount Gilead program team, signing off.